these things are sent to trials, aren't they? I know. Oh, okay. All right. No, it's fine. And, you know,
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's me. Are we?
Well, I'll just, if you don't mind, I'm going to use the camera here. It's not great, but the microphone is connected. So
Where are we connecting to?
it will be. I'll give you the address. In fact, I
Okay.
might even post the address.
Post the address.
Yep.
Right.
I'm not sure if this is teaching the class today, but I'm Megan.
Yeah.
And I'm Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. I'm Nick.
We're here as interpreters on students today.
Yep.
So we'll just be up here.
Good. Well, Chris
You want
is.
to note taking?
Yeah.
G'day. How are you?
I'm not sure Ted or I will be
Okay, cool.
doing. I'll probably do most of the talking.
Yeah. So just be one of us, and we'll swap on a, on occasion, so just don't
No drama.
see any movement or anything else from us, and we might occasionally ask you to repeat something, or especially acronyms and things, if we don't know what they actually mean, we might ask them to do.
Okay. We do a lot of, possibly not tonight, but in future there'll be a lot of student discussion going on.
Yeah, we'll just jump in on the
You'll be
rooms.
working pretty hard on that.
I might just grab a chair now, but then we'll wait for it.
Yeah. No worries.
So are you using sprinkler?
Eventually.
Yeah, all right, we might just grab something here for now and we'll see what happens.
No worries. What have we got?
I might just grab, let you come in,
Yeah.
and then I can use, if you don't, I mean, you might want to read off that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you could probably watch yourself on there, and I could actually watch the students on mine. So.
And what about connecting them?
Well, these people don't really need to. We can tell them not to connect.
Yes. So they're connecting to the.
They're going to connect to the table just in their private
Yes.
conference.
Yes.
But the people who are outside
Yes.
may read the C21 Ning, and there will be an address that they can go to. I'll just put a link in. But those are, if everyone in the room starts connecting, they'll get that 3-second delay, and it's just not going to be worth it for them to connect.
What I want most, I think, is to be. I would rather people were synchronous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if this is there as an archive, that's one thing.
All right.
The synchronicity is.
Well, maybe we don't put the link in now because they will be out. They'll be outside of that.
Yeah.
And this was where the problem started. We had both running, and then when we started the tables up, then they have to know to disconnect at the other end, and it's a bit hard to tell them to do that.
Yeah. So we actually need.
This is running now, and it's actually recording.
Yep.
So even what I'm saying now is being recorded, unfortunately.
Good.
We may be able to edit it later. I don't think so, though. But so we'll get this as a good introduction to how to muck around
As a
before you
boring
start.
introduction to a class, we've got 7 minutes to go.
I don't think there's no way. I don't know how to pause it before we start. I shouldn't have started the broadcast. But
I
I just
haven't
wanted to,
joined anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Or have I? But
you may not have actually. Yeah. You might have to join. I'll get your picture up here when you join,
I
and
should
then
change my picture so Mary's not in it.
yeah, but it'll get a picture of your actual video
right.
camera, and I can swap between the two cameras, and that gets recorded too. So if I wanted to get a picture of the group, point this the other way, and I can just be the camera operator. We'll record this just as an experiment.
Just as an experiment. All
Do you think we should send? Will there be likelihood of people coming in late? Oh, they can come and read it, listen to it later. We don't need to do it now.
Listen to it later, because there'll be discussion about assignments, which is and
Fantastic.
structure.
Great. So we'll just capture it now. We won't tell people where it is. We'll tell people at the end, but we'll do the tables later.
We can do that, and although we need to find out if there's anybody out there.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Is there anybody out there? Find people. Where's
You probably have to do it either from Ning, or if you put everyone in your circles, I don't think you will have.
I've only got 7 people online.
Yeah.
On the Ning.
Okay.
Hi there, while we're getting started, it'd be nice if you kind of got yourselves into the Ning, either through the computers that are sitting there, secretly hidden in your in the desk, or through your own device, if we can rely on the network to support us all. So going through the Ning is the first thing we need to do. C21Learning.ning.com.
Join.
What?
Can you just
join? Can I join?
Because this
Okay.
camera will actually get you, which is great.
Where am I? Here?
Yep.
Okay.
Just click on join, and I can actually, it'll just swap around between you and the classroom. So it's at the class
great.
now.
Yep.
But if I click on you,
Yep.
it'll flip to you talking.
Right. We're doing strange technology wizardry here.
But we'll explain it. I hope we can explain it.
Try the computer in the table. That is connected automatically, but it should go through Uni Wireless.
No, it's got something to do with the number.
Yep.
Just make sure it's vertical.
That's all right. Yep.
And just control the engine as well. We haven't had
Oh, no pocket, look at that.
Yeah, just make sure the antenna sticks out of your
It's another $5 for a pocket I discovered after I bought this shirt. It's true. There we go. I'm all wired up now. So, have you got Uni Wireless access or not? Oh, don't tell me. Email address, your normal, should be the same document. Right. So there are computers in here. Good. All happy. Okay, so can I minimize this?
Yeah, minimize it. Just get it out of the way. Put it, whatever you want to put up on the screen.
Okay. And I've got 11 people online. Beauty. How many people in the room? 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. We'll wait a couple of minutes just for people to arrive, and then we'll try and get things going.
Trying to on my phone as well, but I can't.
Oh, yeah. I need Roland.
Does he have? His phone.
He's got every he plugs his phone in and runs it
Yeah,
through.
I've seen that. It's great.
He's great. Yeah, just great. Okay. John Cannon. So what does the microphone do? Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Great. Come in, sit down, join a table, something. Log in. See if you can log into the Ning, and we'll start in a couple of minutes.
I'm just trying to work out where we're going.
Yep, there's a.
Quite still is.
Good. It's all happening. I'll wait about 5 minutes because we'll just wait. We're a bit low on numbers. Who's in on the Ning? What's the translation for Ning?
Sorry?
What's Ning? It's our platform. I've got 16 members online. There's more than 16 people in the room. 17. I suppose I can log in more than one device. Ooh, I wonder who Lachlan is. Somebody's left themselves logged in. Here's the danger of using shared computers. Somebody's been using this computer and left themselves logged in, and I'd need to be able to log them out. Lachlan's not one of my friends. Who am I logged in as? Okay. Okay, I think we might start very soon, or begin to start at least. Am I coming through okay? Is that all right? Good. We've got lots of technology here, and some of it works very well, I think, and some of it we're kind of in the hands of the gods. Anyway, I'm Nick Reynolds. Nice to meet you. Some of you I've met before, and it's very nice to see you back again. Apologies if I can't remember your names. And Ted Clark, who some of you have met before. And Ted and I will be working this subject together this year. Despite appearances, Ted's actually a lecturer, not a tech support person, but he's also a tech support person at this moment because we're trying to get things working as seamlessly as possible so that we can have the online and face-to-face experience as rich as possible. I will just log myself in after I thought I was already logged in, and then we'll start looking at what we're going to do, see how the technology works in terms of the Ning, and try and connect to those people who may not be with us physically, but who can be in their Hangouts. I know for sure that Belinda, I think, is going to be hanging out because some issues with traffic on Ash. Now, NING. Oops, I've forgotten my password. Right. So, I'll just see if Belinda's out there. I've got a list of people here, and it might be a nice idea if we find out who's actually going to be here every day, every week, or most weeks, and then work out who's going to be only online, or who would like to experience the online component from time to time. What we're going to do tonight is try and get this stuff happening. We'll try and work out how the Ning and how the Hangouts work together. The idea is that we should be able to have a separate Hangout happening at each table so that we can have discussions that are meaningful, real time, regardless of how many people are physically in the room. In the past, this has worked, kind of. There's been a reluctance of students to actually take control of their own circles. You know what I'm talking about with Hangouts? Have a look. It's your Google Plus thing. It's like Skype, only you can have a Hangout, which is a video conference that can have up to 10 people in a Hangout. So you'll become familiar with this, and it's worth trying even at home, just setting one up, linking to a couple of friends and seeing if you can try making a Hangout, because it's actually really useful technology. I'm getting an echo here because I've got my speakers on, probably.
Yep.
Maybe if I turn them off.
That'd be great. Can you do that?
Without turning off my wireless internet. That's better. Okay.
Yep.
Now, we'll look at the Ning, we'll look at the ideas of Hangouts. I'm going to talk about assessment, of course, because that's what everyone's most interested in. And we have an essay due on the 13th of September 2013, I think, according to the Ning, but I did change that. So it is actually 2014, the assignments are due, not 2013. It's kind of difficult working in this Ning environment, knowing what to delete and what not to delete, because the subject's been running for 4 years now, and there's a kind of archive. There's bits that are a couple of years old, and I haven't quite deleted everything, so I get a bit confused, but that's just me anyway. So, first of all, if you bear with me, we might just go through and see who's actually here, because I don't know who's online and who's not online. Rebecca? Right, hi. And Jonathan? Thank you, it's all right. And David? Hi, David. And Kieran? And Emily? And Ying? Yingdu? Okay, that's all right. It doesn't not here, might mean there somewhere else. Well, obviously it does. Trish? And June? Good. And Sam? Jessica? And Yisha? Okay. And Iman? Aaron? Good, the list it's a long list. Mark? Yeah. Hey, Mark, okay. Now, Roshan? Roshan? Thank you. Am I not? Okay, keep going. Z-E. Z? Just Z. Zoe, okay, that's Zoe, all right. And Z Swan, is that correct? Good. Good. And Sarah?
Yes.
And Jenny? Margaret?
Yes.
And Anthony? Rosa? Daniela? Jit? And Anne? And Belinda? Belinda? Oh, no, Belinda's online, of course. Johanna? And Daniel? Naomi? Grant? And Sunmi? And Jacob? Ting? And Colin? And Yana? And Hugh. Okay, so we've got a number of those people that are either online or offline, and I don't know what I've achieved by doing that. Okay. What I'm going to do is open a hangout of people who are actually on my list, but if you're not on the, if you're actually physically in the room, perhaps leave it a while before you actually participate in the hangout, because that will enable those people who aren't in the room to dial in. But let's see how we go. Oh, come on. C21. Hangouts.
If you have trouble, Nick, it might be because we've connected your...
You're already in a video call.
We're in a video call.
So
yeah, so the video call, you could put, or I could put the Ning address,
Yeah.
I mean, put the address of the video call in the Ning,
Yeah.
so people outside of here can actually access it, but not the rest of the group for the time being. So
all right.
I'll just do that now.
Okay.
Okay, so you keep talking and I'll just put the address in the Ning.
Okay. Let's talk about how the subject is going to work. We're just going to get trying to see if we can get those people that are not here connected. Ted's doing that beautifully. First of all, the subject is called 21st Century Learning Communities, and that's exactly what it's going to be about. What we endeavour to do in this subject is to create a community through that lives and breathes, as it were, in the Ning. The contributions that you make to the Ning and the stuff that you put out there is what actually creates the community. Coming here together in the classroom will help us kind of strengthen that community and also talk about the theoretical aspects of learning communities. But I can't begin to tell you how important it is to have that sense of the Ning existing and that the community, the contributions you make to that community as being an essential component. Now, one way of doing that, of trying to encourage you, is to actually give marks. And not just mark what you do, but say there's 10% up for grabs. Just there, easy. You can just get 10%. Straight away, all you have to do is make contributions to the Ning. There's no number of contributions that add up to 10%. I would suggest, though, that 1 or 2 contributions won't actually get you 10%. but a regular sense of belonging and contribution to the NIM will give you 10%. It's quite easy. So I have my settings on the NIM so that I get emails when anybody does anything, which of course in my case I'm getting many emails. I suggest that you perhaps do something similar, so you're getting notifications. Mine goes straight into a filter, through a filter in my email system, so that they go into one file. No big deal, so that I'm not just reading thousands of emails. It's easy to see what's going on. You can link it to Twitter, you can link it to, I'm not sure if you can link it to Facebook. I have a Twitter account, but I don't use it. So maybe I'll start using it a bit more now. I do have a number of followers, but I thought I'd try and get the most number of followers for the least number of tweets. But perhaps I might actually have to engage a bit more in the Twitter process. Is there anybody here who uses Twitter? Okay, well, it's something you should perhaps investigate. Now, so that's what we're going to do. Each week, there are set readings. Those readings, those readings are the centre of what's going to happen in each class. And those readings are really going to be led by you, not by me. Okay, that's the main focus of what we do in this room. Is we discuss what those readings are all about. If I wanted to talk to you for 2 hours, we'd have it in a lecture theatre. I don't want to talk to you for 2 hours. I probably talk too much anyway, but certainly the idea is that the learning happens most when you've engaged and are actually discussing the theoretical perspectives and relating them to your own practice. And that happens in this room or online through the Hangouts. There is an LMS subject site. There has to be, because that's a university requirement. But everything of importance is on the NIM. The assessment details are on the LMS. They need to be. There is a schedule which I haven't updated, but the one on the NIM is actually accurate. So I'm not going to go to the LMS. I'm going to struggle with this. I'll go to c21learning.ning.com. Probably saying, oh, is that right?
C21 Learning.
C21. No, not. C21.
Oh, C21 Learning. There you go. Gee. Okay, and it'll probably say I can't log in. I should be using my other computer, shouldn't I?
You can now. Sorry, it's actually flipped off.
It's off, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
if you needed to, but it won't actually, unless you connect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it won't go through. If I'd known you were going to use the computer, I wouldn't have made you connect, but it automatically disconnected.
There we go. All right. Oh, look, that's a bit scary. I don't have the screen, but never mind.
You go click behind it. You should be able to get out of that or close it. Just go to the close window. Okay, I've got the error here too.
You've got it there. Okay, I'll go back to the computer.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. Now, you will notice that I've made everybody an administrator. If you're not an administrator yet, you will be soon. That gives you complete rights over the NIM. You can do everything, I think, except completely delete it. You can delete all the subject matter, you can delete pages, you can add pages, you can invite people to join, but as you know, I have two rules. One is, please don't invite people unless they're on the list. And it was nice to see while I was away that people were admitting people to the Ning because they had the administrator's privileges. The second rule is, whatever you do, don't press reset to default. And I'm not even sure where that button is, but it's there somewhere. I had a student a few years ago who did that, and it took me hours and hours and hours to sort of get the site back together again. It was interesting because she continually told us how proficient she was at ICT. Never mind. You can feel free to change the way the Ning looks. You can do all of that stuff in the settings page. I am waiting for somebody to change the avatar. A couple of years ago, somebody decided Elmo was a good-looking avatar. So you can do whatever you like within the bounds of reasonableness. The reason for making you administrators is really because I think it's a sense of ownership of this community. It's not something I can do in the LMS because it just doesn't work that way. I can't give administrative rights to students. It's possibly not something that you'd want to do in a school situation or a work situation for obvious reasons. But if you can, it may be worth thinking about the potential of having ownership rather than just usership of a community. So that's something really worth thinking about, and when you're using the Ning, thinking about why you have those privileges and if they mean anything to you. I'll share a paper with you at some point that I'm presenting in Adelaide later this year based on some of this subject and some of the discussions I've had with students. But I'll get to that later. Now, readings. I'm going to spend some time talking about communities of practice and some related theories today. Then, you're going to, each week, there's a list here, you can see it up there, you can see it on your Ning, of readings. All you need to do is say, I would like to lead the readings next week, or week 2, or of week 3, and there's a sign-up sheet under the schedule. Go there. Look at that. See, somebody's been there already. Hugh's attending online. I wonder where Hugh is and whether he can see us.
Yeah, he may. I've
Yep.
only just put the link up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So this is those who are going to be attending online. It would be really nice if you could put that up. All you have to do is go Options, Edit, and you can do that. Please don't delete the page. And look at the kinds of readings that you might be interested in. I am going to change a couple. I would like to look at the ideas of connectivism. I'd like to look at some of the things like Twitter and where Twitter's going these days. But certainly the readings are there all the way through. I would like you to start thinking about which readings you're actually going to lead the discussion in. Now, this can take many forms. You might communicate, there will be more than one person leading the readings. You might communicate with that person and say, you know, why don't we do a little activity? We could do this, we could do that, and take it from there. You might have 2 or 3 people wanting to do those readings. We might just split it up and give everybody a turn. It should be very informal in the sense that you're not presenting a PowerPoint on you know, the readings. You're not going through and doing an analysis or a sort of review of each week's readings, but it is that you're prepared to talk about the main points and to lead a discussion and participate in a discussion about the theoretical content that's on the site. Does that make sense? Can you see yourself doing it? Good. I do this for a couple of reasons. The first, of course, is because I don't want to lecture. The second is that I think that actually engaging at that level where you have to talk and present and lead the readings encourages you to a deeper level of engagement with the material. And thirdly, I do believe that because you're having to do the readings, there is often a sense that I will, as a class member, that I will actually engage with the material, so the poor person who's leading the readings isn't just stuck out there on their own with a silent class, not adding anything. So those are my reasons. It's got nothing to do with... No, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. Now, any questions so far? Good. 2 people just arrived. Who arrived? Who are you, sorry?
Oh, I'm Jacob.
Jacob. Okay, good. I'm just trying to see who's here and not here. Not that I'm going to mark the roll. It's not about that. And person in front of me. Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. There we are. Oh, were you here before? No? I must have just ticked the wrong name. Anyway, oh yes. Yingdu. I will find you somewhere. Yes, got you, thanks. Okay, all right. You know what to do for readings. Let's talk about assessment. Do you want to add anything to that, Ted? You have to talk close.
Just that if you miss a class, what we're going to try and do is record every session. So this is in a recorded session right now. I'm hoping that we're capturing the sound, but we haven't actually got any idea of how it's going to sound just yet. But we'll see if we can improve it over the weeks. But just in case, not everything will be recorded. Only the introduction, so anything that we might say will be recorded, and then we're going to turn it off, and then you'll probably be working together in your groups on different things. However, we wouldn't mind recording when you're doing the presentations on the reading. So if there's someone doing a presentation, we'll probably ask if we can record that. And this will be particularly not for you guys in this room, but for people who may not be able to attend. And we might actually get them to watch this live. This recording does actually record for later viewing, but also records in real time so people can watch it. It's a little bit delayed, so if you started watching it now, it would really be disorienting, because there would be about a few seconds delay before you'd actually see us move or hear us speak if you were listening to it. It'd be horrible to listen to if everyone started loading it in this classroom, but people off-site would be able to see and hear in a slight delay what we're actually doing, and then you could easily access it later because it is recorded.
Thanks, Ted.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll put a link into the Ning for where it's coming. If you give me, and a lot of people have already put their names as an address in the Google Plus site, I'll pull you into a circle, and then I can easily just quickly send out the link. In fact, I think you'll get it once you're in my circles and I just invite a circle in. You'll automatically get notified when the recording is up, or even when the recording has started, so a broadcast. So you don't really want to click on it if you're in the room, because it will be disorienting, but later on you can have a look at the delayed or the post session recording if you want to.
Yeah. The most important aspect, I think, is the synchronous component though. So we have an archive, but the discussions and the interactions happen, I believe, better synchronously, and the asynchronous stuff is what happens in the NING. So let's move on to, I've got 25 members online, look at that. There's also a chat line, and perhaps it'd be nice if someone was monitoring the chat in case somebody comes in saying, hey Nick, I can't get in. If somebody's monitoring the chat, you can say, Nick, you know, Hugh's on there trying to get on and it's not happening for him, and you can respond, or you can keep the chat line going. So the chat, you'll see the chat on somewhere on the page there. Can somebody see the chat thing on? Yeah, okay, good.
I'm doing exactly what I told people not to do.
So we're going to Doctor Who. Good. Is there anybody trying to communicate with us? Anybody having trouble at the moment? Hugh is there. Have you got the link to the Hangout? Okay, good. Thank you. Ted, what have you done?
I stupidly connected this phone, and I'll just turn the whole thing off. And people are connecting in the room, which is nice, but it'd be great if you didn't.
I'll open another Hangout. I'll leave this one, and I'll open another Hangout. All right. Oh goodness, I've gone. I'm going to hang up on you.
That's good. Yep. Right. It doesn't hang up?
It's hang up, but it won't let me start a new Hangout.
Maybe I have to disconnect.
Start, I've got it now, okay.
You've got, yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'm creating a Hangout now for, and I'm going to invite those people in C20 in my circle. So, if you're in the room, yes, please join, but make sure we've got Hugh and Belinda in first, because we can only have 10 people. You need to go to Google Plus, and you'll see circles and Hangouts. So I've got that one happening for them. So if someone can tell Belinda and Hugh that we're about to make that happen. Excellent. There's Belinda in there now. Hi Belinda, can you hear me? And good. Can you hear me, Belinda? Good. I can see you. Excellent. I might get somebody in the room to join the Hangout. Somebody there can join? Yep, excellent. There we go. We've got two. Have you got the other Hangout running, Belinda? No, you can only have one, can't you?
Yeah, usually you only have one,
yeah.
And the sound doesn't work on both at the same time.
Okay. Good. All right, we're going to talk about assessment, because I know that's important in everybody's mind, and then we'll talk a bit about communities of practice. On the screen, on the NING, on the assessment page, you can see that we have four, I should say, assessment tasks. One is I've already discussed, is the 10% contribution. So that's taken care of. 10% contribution for your for what happens in the Ning and in the class. The first assessment is due on the 12th of September. That is just before the break, I think, school holidays. Is that correct? It's what?
It's a week before.
Week before. Yeah, the week before, that's right. And, you know, you can hear me? You can't hear me, okay. Thank you. Belinda can't hear me. Let's see if one of these works. Technology is such a great thing. Now, no. These are shocking computers.
Do you need a mic?
Here we go. Integrated microphone. It is on. Can you hear me now? Certainly on. No. You sure it's not working? It's certainly there. It says it's working at this end. Is that working? Is that any better? No. Okay. I've got this being... Oh, she can't hear me. Can someone type in and tell her it's being recorded? And she might want to go to the live hangout. Have you said that?
Yeah, the live hangout's in the forum, so if she wants to try the link in the forum, but she can't have both.
Okay.
So if we text her, don't have both going, close one, you disconnect by hanging up on the hangout you started, and join the live hangout by clicking on the link, which will be delayed.
Yeah.
Hopefully that, yeah, the mic's on this one's still working, or at least I can tell it is, but...
Be okay.
It's,
good.
Can you hear us?
Daniela's just joined us.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go and talk about assessment. Those of you who've done subjects with me before will be familiar with this first assignment. It's only 1,500 words, but it is a negotiated essay. An essay where you come up with the topic and you write about it. The essay is, of course, about learning communities. Something to do with learning communities. Otherwise, we don't really have much point in the content. You can read what it says there about making theoretical connections to practical problems and relating to your own professional setting. Now that's important. I imagine, how many in here are school teachers? Okay, right. So the others are full-time students and university, allied, in a public library. Okay, great. Okay, well that's a great place for community, isn't it? Absolutely, and yeah, okay, all right. So the hard part here is for the full-time students who don't have a professional setting in which to possibly base their assignment. So they would write more theoretically rather than more practically, perhaps. But you are looking at a, yeah.
Sorry, so Belinda couldn't hear you, but now she's lost you again. So perhaps it's your proximity to the computer, maybe.
Okay.
Whoops,
She had you, she's lost you again.
she had me. Was she live or not live? Whoop.
Oh, here she is. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got her.
All right.
So my sound is actually working. I can only tell that because I can see the
Yep.
the wavering of the sound file. So she's in the live hangout, which is just the YouTube clip, which is going to be recorded. It's a bit delayed, but I can see that she's there.
Yep. And we've got signal. Maybe I was away from the
The mic's just here, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Good. I promise it won't be this mad every night. Well, it might be. But yes. Yes. I would have a hangout open, which I did with Belinda, but there was no. Yep. Yes. Yes. It will come directly through your email, through your Gmail. It'll come through there because you've given me your account. So I will invite people there, and then they will join. But what I also want to do is that when we get into class, to have people creating their own Hangouts, so that we might have 3 or 4, so that rather than having everybody coming through my computer, might have one person through this group, one person through that group, one person through that group. And then it makes the whole thing work a lot better because I don't have to be juggling with people online. That can be the responsibility of the group. Is that clear? Ish. Good. It takes a bit of getting used to, and I mean, in a sense, I can write all this, and if we don't, but until we actually meet and see this is what's going to happen, it's a bit difficult. So, I'll go back to the assessment. I will post some essays from previous students and some essays from that have been published in teacher professional journals, and that will be, I don't use a rubric in here. My criteria for your essay is basically high quality work. I will give you examples of what that high quality work looks like. You can talk to me and Ted about what high quality work might be. But it's the way I work. It can be a bit challenging at times because some people like it very, very clear. I need to know exactly what I have to do. But we are doing a Masters in Education, and you can't study hard. Who's doing that?
Somebody else joined.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So that's the first assignment. I would like you to start thinking right now about something you might want to investigate and write about. The second assignment is it's not, you're not obliged to, but it's strongly advised. So if you've got any idea, send me an email, say this is what I want to write, what do you reckon? I'm going to do this, this and this, and I'll give you some feedback onto that. Now, the second major assignment, or the major assignment for the whole thing, is that you are creating an environment, you are creating a project, a community. Now, because everybody is in a totally different situation, the kinds of communities that you might be creating are going to be very, very different. In some cases, you are in a workplace or in that already has a learning community established. You might want to add something to it or do something new within it. That's fine. In other cases, you might be thinking about developing something for your workplace, and the scope is so much greater than 45% of 12.5 point subject at university. So you would come up with the plan and the criteria and the rationale and possibly even a mock-up of it. So it's very vague, I know, but the idea is to get you actually creating some kind of community within your workplace. And if you can't create a community, then you need to be designing or contemplating what you might possibly do in a given circumstance. So if you're an international student, you're thinking, well, when I go back to my own country and I'm working in my school there, I would really like to create something. Then you can say, well, I might be creating a learning management system, I might be using a discussion forum. Then try and relate the theoretical and the practical. Really, that's the point of that assignment. We will spend more time on this as the subject goes, but some of you might even be thinking right now that you've got an idea. Does anybody have any thoughts that they might actually be doing something, Trish?
You just started learning what we do set up something where the teachers on that and we have to really double check.
Okay, so I'll just kind of repeat the question a bit for here and for here. We've got the idea that a community at school that would be a place, a depository, say, a depository of professional readings with opportunity to make contributions and discussions around those readings in your school setting. Weekly. Is it happening already? Okay. What do you reckon? Good idea? Looks for me. Yeah. Yep, that would work for me as a project. Because you'd need to define, the environment, you need to define the environment, you'd need to consider what's going to be the most usable, the most affordable. Using knitting costs me $550 a term or something a year. But there are plenty of free things available too. I use knitting because it offers certain things that I want to do. So yes, absolutely. Anybody else got any ideas? Yep. Okay. So you. Do you want to say something?
Edmodo is a fantastic community that and even if you did it with a small group, it wouldn't matter. I mean, if you've already got a group going, but if you want to expand it, that would be a wonderful thing to investigate, just how it works and how you can actually gather people together in Edmodo. But obviously, you can integrate it across other things like OneNote. But Edmodo is a useful kind of community tool.
Yeah. So what you'd want to be doing is being quite specific about what it was new or different that you were adding to the community. Or yes, yeah, because you've got Edmodo sitting there, and you say, well, in my project, I'm going to do this as part of that. Anybody else got any ideas? Thoughts?
This is more of a question than a plan, but as a casual teacher, it'd be great to have a wiki or an Edmodo or something similar.
Yes.
You could walk into a classroom and have access to a range of different activities and programs that you could use with that class.
The question is really about as a casual teacher creating resources and a community that could provide you with the tools and the resources needed. Absolutely great idea, and an idea that people in the past have looked at. So, you know, obviously you're not going to create, the community is probably not going to be functioning and fully finished, but the design, the platform, you know, the purpose, and you might even need to sort of just mock it up so that you sort of got a pretend audience. Those of you in schools who are doing things that are protected by privacy, you know, you can sort of blur out faces, blur out names, and do all sorts of things like that. We can protect, you know, you have to work within the framework of your employer. I had someone a couple of years ago working for a government department and with really, really strict rules about what could be seen and what couldn't be seen. So she provided sort of screenshots and descriptions, and it works fine. Okay. So it's quite clear, I hope, in there, and we will discuss, and if you have ideas, talk to Ted or me, talk amongst each other about the kind of things you might be thinking of doing. But please don't take too long, because, you know, it's quite a lot of work in getting it at least going properly. The second essay is for me the most important component, or the most powerful learning component of this whole subject. That is when you individually review somebody else's project. So Ted and I will, mark everybody's project, and the sheer weight of numbers and everything, we read them and we make comments, and that's it. Each person in this room will be given somebody else's project to read in detail and respond to in a constructive way. It's only 700 words, and that's a real challenge. But I have found in the past, and Ted, you'd agree, wouldn't you, the quality of the feedback and the discussion that comes out of those constructive reviews is really, really valuable. Valuable for the person writing and valuable to the person who receives it. So the person who you're reviewing will actually get your review. Ted and I will mark them, but the person who you've reviewed will also get it. So that's what we're doing in terms of assessment, in terms of your contributions, and hopefully we can make technologies work properly so that everybody's part of the subject properly. Okay. Good. I'm going to stop for a couple of minutes to take my breath, get a glass of water. It's quite stuffy in here, isn't it? Yeah, we found that something wrong. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to fill up my glass, and then I'll talk about communities of practice. Has anybody actually read the readings? Yay! Okay, good. We can talk together. Who feels like they could talk about them? Yeah, beauty. All right, it's all caring and sharing here. I'm going to just refresh myself for a moment, and then we'll come back.
I might stop this.
Yep.
And then we'll start again.
Okay,
if you like.
better tell.
Okay. I'm not saying that you have to type this, but if you can, if she's got, there's two chats that are happening. Good. She's got to turn the other one off, though. Oh, good. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Yeah. So that's exactly. Can you tell her right now if you've got her in the chat? I mean, that I'm just about to finish this broadcast, and I'll start a new one. And then she can go and have a look at the new one. I'll put the link into the forum again, another link. So I'm going to stop this broadcast, which will be one little video